Okay, here we are for another edition of T4L TV, and sitting with us is Kim Sutton from Google.
Hi.
So Google Australia and the Google Education team who've been supporting us all year with all of our various webcasts and sessions that we've been running. And today we're here to talk about something called Google Sites. A lot of schools have been doing things with web publishing for a long time. We used to have things like Front Page, Microsoft Front Page, and Dreamweaver, which was another tool that is being used for publishing to the web, developing HTML pages and so on. Lately we've also seen things from Microsoft like Sway and from Adobe in their Spark product. But for something that's been around for a while now and recently been updated, we have found the Google Sites product is a really easy way of producing web pages.
It really is. I love our new Google Sites, well, just Google Sites now, because it's very simple to use, very intuitive, and today we're going to unpack that. We're going to build a site together, show some examples of how to use them as well.
So, to get us started, what are some ideas for using Google Sites, do you think?
So we could do, using Google Sites, you could make a class website. So you could have all of your teaching materials on the one website that you can, share with your students. So it's there, readily accessible anywhere. You could even then put that in Google Classroom. So the link to the site and go, here's all of our class materials. An actual class website to showcase for for parents to look at what their children are doing.
So a teacher could put all of the resources that they're going to use for a particular lesson up onto a page.
Yep, definitely.
And then reuse that page into the future.
That's it.
With different classes and so on.
They could plan their whole term. So with the Google Sites, we can have multiple pages and they could be the various KLAs.
So from an administration point of view of a school, they might want to use it as an intranet or something like that.
Definitely,
that they can put their own different processes that they have in the school, operating in the school, and be able to have it in a single place where people can access it as a resource via their browser.
That's right. But today we're going to show you an example of using it as building a student portfolio. So, we're getting into that whole notion of the students as creators rather than consumers. So they can create their own website and have all of the different things that they've been creating in class and put them all together into this one perfect little portfolio.
So a teacher getting into Google Sites, it's part of their department portal. So they'd sign on to the staff portal, staff.det.nsw.edu.au. They put their credentials in, and if they go to My Learning Tools tab, under there is G Suite, and inside G Suite they've got an option to either go straight to Sites or they can go via Drive.
That's right.
So if you wanted to demonstrate how to access via Drive.
Will do. So you go into your Google Drive, you go to New, you scroll down to More, and then that'll come up in a little, extra little bit on the side, and then there'll be Sites. So once you click on that site, then it's going to open up your brand new website.
And you can also get to it directly via a URL.
Right.
So if you typed in sites.google.com,
that's right.
That will take you straight to the sites within your account.
That's right. And there'll be a big old plus sign at the bottom, and that's how you create a new one.
That's good. So when you're creating a site, you've got to do things like name it.
That's right. So the first thing you'll do is name your site. In the G Suite product, everything says Untitled Site, Page, Doc, whatever. So the one that we're creating is called My Learning Portfolio. Then what we're going to do is we will actually name the home page. So the first page you have is the home page, and again, it's going to be a learning portfolio by one of our students, Johnny. Johnny, be good.
So Johnny is creating his portfolio of all of the different work that he does in different subjects.
That's right.
So he's been creating things in Google Docs, in Google Slides, in various other different platforms, content creators, and he wants to compile them all into one easy to access place.
That's exactly it. What Johnny can also do is when he's putting together his site, he can customize it. So he might want to look at different themes, put different colors onto them, and you'll see that there are a couple of page headers, and we can also customize the various page headers with images that we have on our own devices. So for example, if it's a class website, you could put your class photo there.
Or you could search from a gallery.
You could search from a gallery as well, and you can do a search of online as well. But you can choose to reflect what you want it to be. And that's how to customize with a theme or different pictures.
That's good. And then you're looking at adding different things to the page. So you've got a header there, you've got a starting point. But
right.
now you want to think about, well, what are the elements that you would be adding to the page? So
That's right. So the first thing we do is we click on Insert, and that's where we'll see different things. So we can insert text, images, you can actually embed and hyperlink out, and you can also insert from your drive. Another thing, this is a new update, is you can choose layouts. So it'll actually give you little templates of maybe I want 3 pictures and right under it some text. Or as you can see with Johnny's, he is having his picture and a little bit of text about himself. So that's doing the layout.
So in taking a picture, for example, he could use his webcam, or he could use another camera.
That's right.
It can be then put onto his Google Drive.
That's
and
right.
then he can select that from the drive.
That's right, and that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and that appears up on the screen.
And finally, another way, and this is my favourite part about Google Sites, is all you need to do is double click. So anywhere that there's a little white space, anywhere in your site, if you were to double click, you'll actually have that option. The insert options come up. So I think one of the best things about it is the fact that it's just double click here to customize, to create.
Very good.
So Johnny's here at our awesome primary school, and he's filling in a little bit about him. Again, this is his learning portfolio. He has the ability to, do how he does it. He can customize how he wants.
So what he's done there is created his home page, his starting point.
That's right.
This is my learning portfolio.
Yep.
But then what he wants to do is break that up and insert a whole bunch of different pages, maybe for each of the subjects that he'll be working on, and putting content from onto it.
So the very next little menu right next to Insert is Pages. Here, of course, you're going to see the home page. You go down and you click on the plus, and then you insert a new page. So that new page pops up. It takes a little bit to load, but then you'll see, depending on how you've customized, so again, different themes, you will see all of your little pages pop up. They'll either pop up on the top, so home, science, maths, English, or down the side.
So like a traditional website that you see on the internet, it's got a menu structure. So as you add a page, that's a new menu option that appears on your home page, and that's your navigation.
Right, that's exactly it. Now we're doing our science page, and Johnny's now inserting. So we do our double click, and he's actually inserting some things that he's done in Google Drive. So you can insert slides. He's writing a little bit about it, and while you're there, while you can see the slides there, you can actually advance through. You don't have to open up in its own page. You can actually advance through on the website itself. Another thing you can do is you can obviously resize, so as big or as small as you like. So now we're inserting, what are we inserting? Our glossary. And depending on what it looks like.
So that's a doc file?
That is a doc, yep.
So this is all work that Johnny's created in separate elements of G Suite, and he's now combining them all into one easy to navigate web page that he can then showcase.
That's right.
Share the link with other people.
And you'll see as well that, you know, how when we collaborate in our Google environment, you can actually see the collaboration in real time. If you were to insert this particular Google Doc or Google Slides, if it does get updated, then it'll reflect on the site.
So it's a dynamic web page straight away, simply by the fact that the elements that you've inserted could be edited and modified separately, yet the page that that compiles it all is automatically being updated as well.
And we got a little bit carried away. We forgot to talk about the fact that it's so easy to switch up your content. Actually no, it's 6 little dots on the left-hand side, and all you do is click and drag those, and you can rearrange where your content is by clicking and dragging.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if the different elements that make up your page,
Yes.
you can reorganise
Yes,
those
definitely.
however you want them to be.
Yeah.
That's good. So the next step that we're going to look at is how to create more pages. So we've done one page, it's
Right.
one subject we've covered is science. So let's say if we wanted to add additional pages to the site, how easy is that?
It is as easy as clicking on the plus button again and renaming the page and naming the page what you want.
And the navigation builds
And
accordingly.
It does. So you'll see as you add those pages, you'll see wherever your navigation is on your site, it's going to pop up. So let's put in some things for PE. We've got history. What else? Art.
Yep.
I liked art.
And each of those headers that you create could have a different picture behind it, or
That's right.
thing.
So yeah, that's right. So we again very customizable. I don't think the pen right there is the best of our artistic ability, so we can go back and choose another cover image again by URL search, find the most artiest piece of work here, and oh, this one's pretty spectacular, isn't it? Okay.
But then you're using the same theme, but you've got different background header elements that just make each page stand out. Or
That's it. That's it. And that's exactly right. And reflect on what it looks like. Okay.
And those pages that you've created, if you decided you wanted them in a different order, they're all adjustable.
Can you guess how to do it?
Yeah, I'd guess drag and drop.
Drag and drop, that's exactly right. So you can pick up that particular page and move it where you want in that little navigation. And again, it's going to reflect on the navigation bar on the site itself. Fairly easy to use.
And again, through the theme, it's just a matter of deciding whether you want the navigation on the left-hand side or across the top.
That's right, and that's all based on the themes.
Yep.
Speaking of different elements that we can put in, there are many things besides your drive files. You can put in buttons or borders. You can actually embed YouTube videos or calendars, and even forms. So maybe there's a form to fill out, and you can fill it out right from the page.
So it's a great way that Google has been integrating all of their different apps into one place that people can tie it all together and make it visible for everybody.
That's right, and it's responsive as well. So instead of opening up the individual thing, you then have it. So when we edit, obviously we want to see what it looks like on different devices. So there's a little eye, and that's the preview. When we click on that, we see what the site's going to look like.
Oh, so this is the responsive design element
That's right.
of sites.
That's right. So it's fantastic, because if I am viewing it on a tablet and I move it from portrait to landscape, it's actually going to change round. Now, the point that why we have that particular thing is because we will view on smaller devices or larger devices.
We don't know whether somebody is going to be watching looking at the website while they're sitting on a train.
That's right.
Or whether they're going to be on a laptop or on a tablet, whether they're going to be portrait or landscape.
That's right. And I found when I was creating sites with my students that even though all these pictures might look good, all 4 of them in a row, is that going to look good if I'm viewing it on a different device? Right. So it's actually a little bit of a like a graphic design lesson almost.
So it lets the student actually see what it's going to look like, and they can make a judgment call as to whether the design that they've chosen is appropriate for the target device that people might be looking at.
That's exactly right.
So what about working with others? Some students work by themselves extremely well, but oftentimes they're put into teams to work together. So is Google Sites something that can be accessed and worked together collaboratively?
It can. So it's just like any of your other drive files. You will see the familiar share with icon when you're working on your site, and click on that. You can add in anybody to share exactly how it is, so they can view it or they can edit as well at the same time.
Okay, so a teacher, I'm just thinking, a teacher could perhaps give students a starting point with a scaffold of what the teacher wanted the website to be.
Yep.
And the teacher could then share that website with a team of students, and they could all work collaboratively to populate that with content.
Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. So if I was to be working with you, I'm working on the science page and you're working on the art page, you want to put your art into it, then when you open it up and choose from Drive, it's going to be whatever's in your drive.
Right, okay. So Johnny's now created his page, and, his website with multiple pages.
Yes.
And he's now wanting to publish it to make it available to
Yes.
other people to see. So what is the process for doing that?
You hit the big old publish button. When you publish your site, it's actually going to ask you for a web address because this is going to live on the internet. In the schools here, it's going to be sites.google.com/education.nsw.gov.au/
And then what you want it to be.
and make sure it is unique.
Yeah, so
that's right.
not much point calling it Johnny. Well, you could call it Johnny if you were the very first person to do
Yeah,
that. But
lucky Johnny.
Johnny might be used by somebody else because we've got 2,200 schools across New South Wales.
That's right.
So you want to try and make it something that's unique. So maybe the initials of your school, in the example that we've got there, the initials of the school followed by the name Johnny followed by his class name, then that's probably a good way to think about naming your site if you're a student in a school.
And another thing that we need to remember as well is the fact that we don't have to publish to the world. We have those options. So by default, when we publish, it's going to be available to anyone, the Department of Education.
So it means you've got to sign into their Google account in order to see the site.
That's right. However, if it's just something between maybe the class, just something between one teacher and one student, you can actually add that teacher again as a collaborator and choose the option that only the collaborators can see the particular site.
Right.
So it can be pretty private.
Either very private or very public if you want it to be.
That's right. So once we've published, you're going to see another little icon and it's right next to the publish, it's a little drop down. From here, you can actually change the URL, so change the name of where it lives. You can then view the published site, so it'll take you to the sites.google.com/ and you can view your published site
and share that URL
out. You can click on all the different pages and have a look at everything that you've put in your site. However, we might want to unpublish the site, and that is the final option. So when you unpublish the site, it obviously gets taken offline. However, you can still edit.
So the source document stays in your drive.
That's right,
and
yes.
you can then edit it, change it, and when you're ready, publish it again.
You can republish it again.
Yep.
That's
and you can either give it a new name or
that's exactly
new
right.
URL or keep the same URL that you had before.
Yeah.
When we have been working on the site and we've looked at it and it's really great and we've gone away and we've come back a week later because that's the next time that we're doing that particular lesson, how do we find that site to continue working on it?
To continue working on it, all the sites actually live in your Google Drive. So they are Drive files, and all you do is go into your Google Drive and go and find it.
So it's exactly the same as a slides document or a word processing document and so on. It's just another site that's in there, and when you open it up, it opens in Sites.
It does.
And then you can continue editing.
That's right.
That's good. What are some other ideas for using Google Sites? What are some real-world applications where people have used Google Sites as a platform for developing a website?
One of my particular favourites, being a teacher myself, is actually having your own PLD site. So from here we can have all of our different pages. You can see in the example this is all about Google. So this is a page on creating Google Forms, and then from there you can actually put in your Google Drive. You can put in a Google Doc to explain, or embed a YouTube video.
So I was seeing on there that was a whole lot more comprehensive. Menu structure. So it wasn't just a simple set of lists on the top, pages on the top that you can go to. There were actually sub-pages.
Yes, you can make sub-pages as well.
So that's all within the Google Sites platform.
Right.
Very handy.
Another thing you might like to do, and we did touch on this earlier, is you might want to make a school site or a class website.
So there are some schools that are actually using Google Sites to create their entire school website published to their community.
That's right. So all your information for this particular example, thank you, that we're showing, you can see things like the school's class list, the school calendar, the student handbook is all right there.
Right.
They've been, again, they are Google Docs, so they live there, and links as well, so we can hyperlink out.
Okay, and there was a menu structure across the top with a whole lot of different features for the parents as well. That's good. And then, have you got any others?
One more at the moment, and this is, it's a little bit different. We can see that our structure, our menu structure's on the side, so that's one of those things with the themes. However, you can actually do more information for parents. You could make your BYOD portal and house
so this
all
is the
of
parent
those.
portal, which has all the information for
That's
parents
right.
on how to choose a BYOD and what's going to work in our school.
That's right, and all, you know, embedding all the frequently asked questions or, you know, the acceptable use.
I think you've proven to us that Google Sites is a very comprehensive tool for creating content.
That's right.
And it's available not only to teachers but also to every student in New South Wales. And they could be using it right now as just another place that they can publish their content to and learn about some great web elements that people possibly overlook when they're designing for the internet, and giving them a lot of different options for publishing all of the content that they create in different aspects of G Suite.
That's right, yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much, Kim, for
Thank you for
sharing all
having
of
me.
that with
And
us.
I hope everyone's fallen in love with At First Sight.
It is an amazing, it's an amazing tool. One thing we didn't say is really important.
Yes.
You need to be running on Google Chrome.
That's right, or Firefox.
So it'll work in either of those two browsers, but it's a very powerful platform for web publishing, and we thoroughly recommend that you try it with your students.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
See ya.